Welcome to the Passionate Playing Video Gamers podcast. My name is Steve.
Rich.
Mo.
And we're here to talk about everything video games. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo game consoles. On the dock for today, we'll be talking about the delay of South Park Fractured Butthole. Also talk about Mass Effect dropping the Renegade Paragon. And E3 opening to the public. Want to have our opinions, how we feel about that, and do we want to go? But we're going to start off with the Nintendo Switch. None other. A new game console launching in 3 weeks. I don't feel the excitement.
Ooh. Yay.
Hey, you have it pre-ordered.
I do.
Motherfucker, really?
I do.
Yeah.
I do have it pre-ordered.
Why do you have it pre-ordered?
It looks like something new Nintendo's doing.
That's true.
I like their presentation of what they did. It took forever for me to get some side knowledge of what they're actually doing.
Them too, apparently.
Yeah.
They still don't know what they're
Apparently
doing.
I'm getting Skyrim, but who knows if that's going to happen.
That is not happening, and it's the 2011 version, so we're all clear.
I think Elder Scrolls 6 will come out before the Skyrim on Switch.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Just calling it. How do you say it?
I'm calling it.
No, I am excited for some of the new games. Forgive me for saying, but I actually do want to play Mario Kart. It looks entertaining.
I have it pre-ordered. Damn right, I'm playing Mario Kart Battle Mode.
Yeah,
they added Battle, which should have been on the Wii U version, anyways.
It looks incredibly entertaining. I do want to play that.
What was the last Mario Kart you played, Rich?
64.
So you missed the Double Dash on the GameCube?
I did.
The Wii and the Wii U?
I missed all those.
So what is your take and opinions on the Nintendo Switch and the impression so far of how they released it, what the console is, the games? What's your take?
I think it's another gimmick. I like Nintendo's first-party offerings. I think they do nothing for the third-party developers. I'm one of those guys that thinks that they should either put their material on other consoles or on the mobile market. I understand why they don't, but I think that more gimmicks is exactly what's going to run them out of business. If they found their niche, that's fine, but I disagree with the business model.
So do you think this will be the last game console that they release?
No, because I think they are profitable enough, but I do think that they are always going to be a distant third as long as they keep doing these things, because there's a core audience, and I'll be honest, if I didn't think that it was just a gimmick, I would be one of those guys that's buying every Zelda, every Metroid, every Mario Brothers title.
Metroid.
But because they're not doing that, I'm not buying those core titles. I skip them because I don't need Mario Galaxy 2. I don't need Luigi's Mansion. I don't need Super Mario Brothers or whatever it was.
Or 1-2 Switch.
I certainly don't need to milk cows.
Milk
I'm from
cows.
Wyoming. I don't need to pretend because it's a waste of time in the real world. So I certainly know the virtual version is nothing but a gimmick to get everybody to do that the one time. It's basically when you first get it, and then when one of your friends who's not familiar with it comes over, like when we got the Wii Motion Plus controllers.
Is that the last thing you played on Nintendo?
It is. Yeah, I think it actually is. We played that. We did the whole joust thing. That was a fun 2 hours while we drank and ate chips and goofed around in my living room. And that was the end of my Wii experience.
I jerked off for 2 hours and beat him in sword fighting.
What a surprise. He could beat me off. Beat me. Oh, damn! Beat me in a jerk-off contest. But hey, it sounded much better the first way, right, Steve?
I beat him off.
I'm glad I wasn't there for
the
that
Motion
party.
Plus.
Oh, and the look on his face.
Yeah.
Oh.
We crossed swords. That's what we did.
I don't know. For the third party, I think if they are going to go that direction, I know when they started messing around with kind of third parties was for what was it, GameCube, when they started bringing Resident Evil like 0 and all those.
Yes.
And I love the fuck out of Resident Evil 0. I thought it was an incredible game, and I'm glad I got to play it on GameCube when I had a GameCube.
The remake that they did in Resident Evil 0, yeah, excellent.
It was an amazing game, and if they're putting that much effort into something like a third party like they did with that game, which hopefully they do follow through on whatever promises they're making, I think
They won't.
I mean, it's too early to say. I can't.
I'm saying it right now.
He's calling it.
This is going to be just like the Wii U, just like the Wii, which I know the Wii was one of the biggest sellers of all time, but when you look at what those titles meant for the growth of the industry, they were non-existent.
So you're gonna say this Switch is just another Sega Dreamcast?
No, because it's gonna sell better, but it's not gonna mean anything for the growth of the industry. They're going to get their money back, maybe even get a little uptick in the stock price, maybe make a little bit of profit. But when it comes to the innovation they think that they're known for, they're gonna move on to the next gimmick, which is why those Joy-Cons are what they are, is because it's the next iteration of the Wiimote. The Wiimote was a joke in the first place. That's why nobody developed for it.
How many ice cubes are in my controller?
I don't care. None. 0. I'm glad that it's not just a little rubber ball with
I have
rubber bands
11
wrapped around it that's bouncing around.
You are incorrect.
And that makes me feel like I was shot. But it's a stupid gimmick, and it's a waste of everybody's time.
So what's your take, though? Like, what do you think, Steve?
I will buy every single Nintendo console that comes out.
Part of the problem.
I bought the Wii on launch day, the Wii U on launch day, and I'm buying Nintendo Switch on launch day. In a few weeks, I will talk about my true feelings of the Wii U and how I got ass raped for those 4 years that I had that console, especially the last year and a half. I think I bought 2 games for it.
That's 2 more than most consumers.
Yeah. But Legend of Zelda, again, that's not enough to sell a console. Again, that's for the hardcore. And 1-2 Switch, I'm excited to play and see the 28 mini games, but again, putting a baby to sleep does not sound too exciting. They just released that last week. A mini game of having a baby, and you have to rock it to sleep and put it down. They're fucking weird in Nintendo. I don't know how they come up with these ideas. But again, as long as I have 1 new game every quarter, so I'm going to have Zelda in spring, Splatoon 2, which I loved Splatoon on the Wii U. I'm a big fan of it. I had Mario in the holidays. So as long as they come out with a big first-party game every 3 months, but again, that's saying a lot. But hopefully they put all their eggs in this basket. I hope it does turn out. So are you not bought in what they're selling about on the go? So we can take it to the park?
No.
And have a 10-year-old kid at the park play with me?
As we discussed off there, I don't think anybody's really doing that would be responsible with the Joy-Cons. And at the $80 price point to replace them, because only one of them has the full functionality. So if they end up losing, I think it's the right-handed one. If you lose that, you can't just replace it for the $50 price tag. You have to buy them both again to get the one that's fully functional. How many times is a parent going to replace an $80 price point before they say, enough, you don't respect this thing, I'm taking it away, or, oh, you lost it, if you don't find it, that's on you, I'm not buying another one, I've already bought 3 of those, I'm not buying a 4th. And yes, they will make money off of some people that are dumb enough to keep investing in replacing those Joy-Con remotes, but not enough that it's...
Genius move, Nintendo.
It's not, because you're alienating your customer base. If you buy a system that after 6 months your family can't use again because your customer base is not going to be responsible with these tiny little remotes.
Because they can't afford them. They have to ask their mommy and daddy.
Exactly. And then when they no longer buy anything because you don't have a remote to play the thing, then you've stopped anybody from adopting any further technology in that generation. It's a bad idea.
I'll have to ask my fiance to buy me some new Joy-Con controllers.
And she'll tell you no after you lose the first round.
I do agree with what he says on the pricing. The pricing is a little steep. I mean, it's
and that's
being nice. That's being nice.
And bottom line, you could still do most of the same things other than the how many ice cubes thing and the distance tracking and all that kind of stuff. If it was just a way
shooting.
Yeah, when they do that.
Yeah. Shooting what?
It's like wild gunman. Yeah.
That's one of the things in the
who pulls it out faster, who whips it out faster and shoots him in the face.
It's all blanks, folks.
Yeah.
But it's still
blanks.
No, but still, if it was $20 per remote or $20 for the set, much better, considering that most of the people that are going to have this are probably in the 6 to 14 age range. That's doable when your kid loses it on the bus, or they drop it in the woods, or they thought they had it in their backpack and now they just can't find the thing. It's a lot easier to explain that, oh yeah, I'm going to go spend another $40 and get 2 of those things, as opposed to, you lost 1 of them and I need to spend 80, and this is the 3rd time in 2 months you've done that, Junior, so I'm not going to do it a 4th time.
I like how they marketed the Pro Elite controller for the Switch is a lot
$70.
It's
again,
$10 cheaper.
What
right?
pro player is going, I can't wait to get it on the Switch?
Yeah, until they start playing what's it called, Smash Brothers, that they even bring another one out.
And again,
and so like, but how many people are gonna?
You're an ultra serious gamer compared to us, in my opinion. If I said that something was available on PC or Xbox, and I said to you, I can't wait to get it on Xbox, you'd say, what are you, stupid? PC's going to be so much better, and mod support, and this and that, and you would think it was ridiculous. So then take that one step further. If it's available on PC or PlayStation and Xbox, and I go, I can't wait to pre-order it for the Switch, why are you not laughing all the way until I lose that thing too?
The fate of the Switch. We'll be talking more in the next few weeks about the launch of the Switch. Again, 3 weeks. I don't even know if you feel the excitement of a new game console launch, but I think the fate of the Switch will be determined in June during E3, which they will be announcing hopefully what's going to happen the next year, because that was the one thing the Wii U failed. Was
Are they actually showing up this year, or are they going to do another
Treehouse?
That's what I called it earlier.
So during the E3, breaking news, they are now selling tickets to the public. They'll be selling 15,000 tickets tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time. First 1,000 tickets will be sold at $149. The other 14,000 will be $249. What do you get? You get access to the E3 show floor and other events, including gamer events and discussions with leading video game figures at LA Live through a partnership with Entertainment Software Association and Jeff Keighley, and we all love our Jeff Keighley,
don't we?
And more specific of the events and discussions will be announced at a later date. What comes with these tickets? So, what is your opinion? E3 now open to the public.
I think it's Walmart on Black Friday. That's
a good example.
I mean, how many people really do want to go to fucking Walmart? Like, for Black Friday.
Every year,
really?
I'm there.
Bullshit.
I'm lying.
He was this year trying to get the NES Classic.
NES
How'd that work
Classic.
out?
With his socks.
I'm still trying to get the NES Classic. Hey, Nintendo, go fuck yourselves. Send me a NES Classic, please.
Hey, Steve, if the camera could pan to your left, they would tell you to go fuck yourself. You already have all those NES titles.
I have about 15 of those games, yes. I want them on the Classic. So what do you mean by that? Walmart on Black Friday?
I mean, they go on sale tomorrow. You know, everybody, it's going to sell out incredibly fast.
15,000?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I mean, think about it. How many people live in the States? I mean, who doesn't want to go to E3?
Yeah, I think it'll be sold out before 9:05, but certainly by 9:30.
So you think that $249 price point is reasonable?
No.
No, I think it should be much higher, actually.
Much?
Yeah.
Next year it will
Or at
be.
least.
Why do you think? What do you think is the appropriate price?
I want to say around 300, 400.
So a game console.
Make it like EDC. Fuck it. Why not?
What is EDC?
Well, you know, Electric Daisy Carnival here in Las Vegas, which is just madness.
At the Motor Speedway in June, one of the greatest weekends of my life.
I hate that place. The traffic is bullshit. And that's
We
what
here
this
in
is
Las
gonna create,
Vegas
though.
love EDC. Please continue to come.
Yes, please.
It's a wonderful experience for all involved.
I mean, if you love the music, you love the music, but I'm not...
Well, I hate the music, but hey, come. We'll show you a good time. Don't worry.
What's your take on E3 open to the public?
I think it's more the same that we saw with CES, which led to E3 being born in the first place, or what's going on with San Diego Comic-Con. That the spirit of what it's supposed to be has turned into nothing but the briefings. And I know that's one of your points. I think that people are paying for something they're not going to get delivered because they can't attend those briefings with these passes, is my understanding. And I don't know who really wants to stand in line for 3 hours, which that was the old press-only kind of thing. So it's probably 6 to 8 hours to play 5 to 15 minutes of a game that may not even come out.
Scalebound, fuck you.
And it's not even exactly finished.
You weren't even excited about Scalebound. Let's drop that right now. Nobody cared about Scalebound.
The
which is
only
why it's
Xbox
gone.
exclusive this year that I cared about.
You didn't care about it. Let's be honest.
Okay.
It was the only Xbox exclusive.
That was the only one.
We could talk about later too, but
True.
no. What's your take? Because I know you love the briefings.
No, I love the press conferences. That is my Christmas.
That is Christmas.
Is press conference. We'll have a slumber party over here.
I want pizza.
We'll have pizza. We'll watch all the press conferences on Sunday and Monday. It's probably one of my favorite days of the year, is to see all those press conferences. But then E3, I went to the PlayStation Experience 3 years ago. I think they're at the Venetian, the first one, the inaugural, when I actually played the PSVR when it was Morpheus for the first time, and that was when I fell in love. VR is legit, and I love it. And I waited, it wasn't as long, but talking to everyone in the industry, how long they wait. Again, the 2-3 hours just to play a game for 5 to 15. I know the idea of E3 sounds amazing, but the actual, when you're there, is not. If I got access to the press conferences, absolutely. Again, I have no idea how much I would pay, and I don't want to find out if they ever have press conferences included in the price. I'll have to be saving a lot of money because I'm buying a Nintendo Switch and a Scorpio at the end of the year. Nintendo's a fucking expensive hobby. Nintendo,
I still don't
Xbox,
think Scorpio's
Sony.
coming out this year. I'm sorry.
That's probably a discussion for another day, in which you will probably be right. Yeah, Scorpio will probably not be. But E3, again, we'll find out more specifics on what's involved. Again, Jeff Keighley, spending 3 days with Jeff Keighley does not sound fun. Rich and I went to the Video Game Awards here in Planet Hollywood 2
years ago?
2 years ago,
Yeah.
when they actually said that Legend of Zelda will be a 2016 game.
Yeah, and that horseback ride through the meadow that everybody talks
Yeah.
about because it's an open world experience. I hope I'm wrong because I know since I'm not the Nintendo fanboy, everybody's going to tell me I'm full of shit. I think it's just to cover loading screens. I don't think it's as big as everybody says. And
Horseback riding.
yeah, and everybody talks about it's the biggest open world map of all time.
Should only be
If
done
there's-
in Red Dead Redemption.
if there's nothing to do on an open world map, all it is like the first True Crime game. Whenever you had to take your car on the interstate to go from one side of the map to the other, it was almost in real time. There were times when you would go to a mission marker and it was a 40-minute drive, and you even had to pull over and get gas at some points. I don't want that much realism. I do want a little bit of a shortened, streamlined experience of it looks close enough to New York or LA or Miami, Chicago, where I can have fun and do races and stuff like that. I don't want actual, hey, if you didn't stop at the stoplight, the cop might pull you over, and then it's a 15-minute mini game of you pulling out your insurance information. That's a waste of my time.
Who pulls out their insurance?
I'm just saying, if you want ultra realism, let's go through the whole thing. Do you have your paperwork, sir? Oh, 1 second. Oh, 10 and 2. Make sure you didn't take your hands off the steering wheel, or he might think it's an aggressive act and pull you out. And now you're in another mini game where you're trying to avoid the nightstick or the stun gun. It's a waste of time.
I would have just opened my door and hit him in the dick. I would have ran off. It's not. It's a game.
That's only available if you
GTA
enable
6.
the cheats. So.
DLC.
Yeah, DLC.
Grand Theft Auto
DLC,
6 idea. Grand Theft Auto 6. That will
Oh,
get it.
it's DLK. Low kick. DLK.
And another reason why I would not want to attend E3 is because the game that I've been waiting for several years is going to come out before E3. Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm very excited. I love the first three, the trilogy. But this week in the news, creative director Mac Walters, an official Xbox magazine, stated the old system felt very Shepard. And it didn't really make sense if we weren't going to have Shepard as a protagonist. So the new system is based on around agreeing or disagreeing. But players chose based on if it was paragon or renegade choice, than not actually thinking about what they were saying. Feels the new system would create more engagement with characters. But they did add 4 tones to respond to get your point across, to express yourself in 4 different ways. So Rich and I are huge Mass Effect fans. We played 1 through 3 several times. And Mo, how many have you played all 3 games?
I want to say 1.5.
Why did you not finish the second one?
Other games came into the mix at that time. It's kind of like a junkie. He had to jump from I jump from game to game to game. I'm guilty. I'm one of those people that just ends up buying a lot of games and then I play them as I finish them. I just like to have them ahead of time because sometimes I like to get collector's editions. I'm one of those people. Sorry, and that's what happens. Just I can't even remember what game I was playing at that time. I can't.
So I believe we were working together when Mass Effect 2 came out in the same location.
Yeah.
Same
that
property.
sounds right, yeah.
When the second one came out, we were talking about it and how it was, the improvements. I'm okay with the change of going away from Renegade and Paragon. The 4 different tones, again, a way to change how the game is. Because I can understand if someone's like, I'm going Renegade, like I don't care what is said. I'm just gonna hit the Renegade option. I'm gonna hit the button. Whatever's the worst thing, I'm not even seeing what I'm supposed to say. How do you feel about that, Rich?
Well, how much nuance are they going to give? We don't know how it's
True.
all fully going to be implemented. I'm sure that there's going to be things that are obviously, I agree strongly, I agree slightly, I disagree slightly, I disagree strongly. Well, if you're talking to whatever, let's say you meet some alien race's religious leader, and he's supposed to be the leader of the people and he's beloved. If you tell him, I strongly disagree, that's a renegade choice, whether you want to call it that or not. Tell him you strongly agree the people are going to be in support of you, which is a paragon choice. If you're trying to, build community in that with that alien race, I get what they're going for, but they kind of try to get away from this in the Dragon Age series. And what I had noticed is that there's so much dialogue behind that they didn't always give you the gist there. They would give you the first few words or what they thought the gist was. But when I heard the talking that was coming out of the main character, it really sounded like you don't understand that that's not the gist of what they just said. What they said was an overt kind of slam, and this is supposed to be the paragon kind of choice, and yours was, is that what you think? And it turned into, oh, because only small penis characters would think that. Well, that's a slam. And that would be a renegade or a negative kind of connotation choice. I don't know how it's going to be implemented.
I just want to bang some aliens again.
And I've been told that you will be able to.
Talia, I want to know what you look like.
Talia.
Is that her name? The one with the mask?
Is that the small penis choice?
Oh, yeah.
Which one
Yeah.
is the small penis?
Oh, Tally. Not Talia. Sorry, Tally. Tally.
Watch too much Arrow.
With the choicing and the words of what they're going for, as long, I know that there's like the good, whether you're going renegade or you're going whatever. If they're gonna choose the choices like they did for Fallout 4, because you have 4 choices and you can kind of. I know it's probably gonna be deeper than that because Fallout 4. I mean, think about it. Like, did you play? Can you guys play Fallout 4?
Yeah, I beat it.
Like, I haven't beaten it yet because goddamn side missions.
I skipped a lot of side steps. I went straight through because it was my summer of catch up. When I played Fallout 4, I played about 45 hours, and then Dragon Age, I played about 70 hours.
But you didn't beat Skyrim. You didn't even.
I did.
You did beat Skyrim.
Yeah, I've beaten every single game I played except 3 in my entire life.
We'll get into that discussion later. I'm kind of curious now.
Connect Star Wars, go fuck yourself. You're one of the 3, and I'm never gonna beat you ever. Fuck you, Connect.
Can we destroy that on air? Is that a possibility that we can like put it in like the Hall of Shame or something?
The Hall of Shame, one of the 3 games I'm never going to beat. I'm never gonna play that ever again. My other 2, we'll get into that later. My other 2, I will probably beat sometime in my lifetime. Well, I don't know. The Wii U is probably gonna be locked up in 3 weeks, so I'm fucked on that one. Zombie U and Fallout 3.
Oh, you know what? I tried Zombie U on the PlayStation. I was not happy with it. But we're getting away from
Yeah, we're getting off top. That's another time, another place. No matter what, I will be picking up Mass Effect on day 1. I'm very excited. Are you picking it on launch day?
More than likely, yes.
Rich?
Yeah, I already pre-ordered.
Yeah, we'll all be there, Mass Effect, and then again, we'll tell you our reactions, and we'll have a review of Mass Effect. Our last part of news, South Park, Fractured Butthole, delayed a 3rd time. So E3 of last year, they announced December 6, 2016. Then around September, they delayed it to Q1 2017. And now just this week, doing a conference call, they announced the next fiscal year, starting April 1st, 2017 and March 31st, 2018. So it went from a Q1 2017 to possibly Q1 2018. I did not play the first one. I want to play this one just because the name itself, and it looks cool.
Well, remember they're doing the whole thing. If you pre-order, you get the first one also. So
correct. So
I love the first one. It was amazing.
Well, you pre-order it, but when is it going to come out? So when are you going to get the first one to play?
Well, yeah.
Unless you...
That's fair.
What was so amazing?
Well,
about
because
it?
it's made by Matt and Trey, so they control the story. They're doing all the voices. There's callbacks to things throughout the series. It's just was a fun game. The mechanics were good enough. Was it the perfect RPG? No. It was closer to kind of like KOTOR, how it's kind of a stop and start as opposed to an active RPG.
You're gonna get me hard with KOTOR.
Plus, kind of mixed with Final Fantasy, where it was, you have your three characters kind of thing against the beast, and but they had it set up where it wasn't framed in the screen the same way. They did some fun things. They had, like I said, the references in the show and the way you could character build and kind of build up your weapons and armor and stuff. I thought it was a good entry-level RPG. Is it the most robust? No. But considering how they use the IP, I think that it was amazing.
How long did it take you to beat?
It's probably closer to a 15 to 20 hour thing for all the side missions. But like one of the things, everybody likes to collect in RPGs. The all 100, I think it is, or maybe it's 200 Shinpokumon are in there. And you have to go and track all them down. But you get perks when you hit certain achievements. And one of them was like this thing that almost doubles your strength or your vitality or something when you get all the Shinpokumon. And there's no way to get them until you're going into the third act. So you can't be overpowered. But it is that thing that really helps take it over when you're fighting those final bosses. And
See, I'm a big fan of RPGs, and I didn't know about the whole weapon and armor thing.
Yeah.
And so now it makes me want.
Well, and plus you have
I'm
different.
a big fan of that.
Well, and you have different classes too. You can
See,
be
I didn't
like a
know that
mage.
either.
You can be like a
a
soldier.
deep
You can
RPG.
be a little bit of a thief, paladin kind of thing. So it was a good thing. And now with the switching over to the superhero kind of thing. They have their different styles there. I'll be honest. I think that the delay is not technology based. I think that there are two main things. Number one, Matt and Trey want to continue with the story, alter it, especially with the Trump administration. I'm sure that there is something in there. When you say that it's a takeoff on Civil War, I'm pretty sure that they're trying to do some kind of tongue-in-cheek thing. But that is such an influx thing. Plus, they're working on the show, planning all kinds of other things. I'm sure that that's part of it. They want to make sure it's timeless, because that's the other thing. There are not jokes that are related to that specific thing in the first game. You need to be able to address these ideas without full out calling, remember what happened last week in the Washington Post? You can't do that in a game that you don't know when it's coming out, right? Yeah. And then number two would be they were really big about wanting to do DLC in the first one. But the original developer had gone out of business, and Ubisoft basically picked them up, and that they're the ones who finished the game. That's what the big delay was on the first one. Well, the second one, they're going with that same team that finished the game in the first place. But now I think that they're probably trying to implement the DLC, but that's a newer thing for this game. Maybe that's taking them some delays because that it's basically within 1 quarter of it being released is your DLC window. If you go beyond that, it's nice, but it's a story-driven thing. It's not multiplayer combat, so there's only so long you can keep that window open before people sell it back to GameStop, give it to a friend, or just forget about the thing and say, hey, I'm on to Dark Souls 57 now. I don't have time for the DLC from a game that came out a year and a half ago. So I think that's probably what they're doing.
That's probably a great discussion for another day about DLC, if that's something that we invest in. With South Park... I heard everything from you about the first game. I'll pick up this one, but I'm actually happy that it got delayed because there's too many fucking games. February 28th, Mo, I know you'll be picking up Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep.
Zelda, March 3rd. Mass Effect, March 21st. I'm picking up Zelda and Mass Effect. That's enough until April, May, those 2 games. So I'm fine that it got delayed, and that's a great idea if they are adding more story to it now, but how much more they can always add. So hopefully they just find a way to finish it and just make a third game.
For me, I just don't understand how a lot of people get upset when there's a delay. Because I actually appreciate them. For one, the fact is I do play a lot of games. I jump from game to game. I'm already picking up like maybe 3 games this month.
Picked up 3 games last Tuesday.
Persona 5, For Honor, and then Horizon. And then
this month.
Zelda, and then whatever, and Drone. It's just too much.
1-2 switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we've been burned by guys that had delays like Duke Nukem. That was basically vaporware that was told, we're only a few months away. And then it turned out for 7 years that was not really a game. And then they finally finished it. Gearbox finished it for them and released it. And it was a little subpar, unfortunately. And it was basically we found out there was not a game in development. You were lied to us, and I'm sure there's plenty of people who had their $5 floating at GameStop for years.
Let's not talk about delays until we talk about The Last Guardian, because. But I mean, that was a.
Just go dark for 7 years, and it's not delayed. They never had a date.
Yeah,
they just announced it, and.
I mean, come on, like how many years in the making? That's the same thing with like Shenmue. I mean, Shenmue 3 coming out. They kept talking about it, but I don't think that's going to happen with this game. Sometimes I appreciate delays for that specific reason, and I think some of these developers that are getting their shit right and their shit together, I don't mind. I'd rather have a great game than a broken game.
Well, and some of them need to take more time. I like that they're resting Assassin's Creed a little bit. After Unity burned everybody so bad, we need them to make it every couple of years. And I'm a huge Assassin's Creed. I love that story. I know everybody has their problems with it, but I actually like both the present time and the historical stuff.
I did like the last one too.
But they have to have time to develop it. There's no reason to have the glitches that they've had in there. Give them time to address it, and then focus on other stuff. Change it every couple of years. I don't mind Watch Dogs 3, and then we have Assassin's Creed 57, and keep switching back and forth.
There's a time to put things to an end, though. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah, but you have to know where that end is.
True.
I'd rather they knew where the end was as opposed to it comes because nobody bought it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But planning for the future of something that continues to make money is kind of hard to say. That's why so many TV shows go on forever, is because, hey, if we're still making money, why should we stop at the height of our popularity? There's very few people that have the balls like Breaking Bad to say, no, 5 and we're out.
Or Sex in the City.
They
went out
As
on
I
top.
said, there's very
They
few.
went out on top.
I can't even say anything.
No, they went past one season, so they should have just stopped and
two movies.
Done there.
2 movies. But those are our top news stories of the week. So, recently, I just finished Resident Evil 7, which just got rebooted. Incredible. I highly recommend playing it on the VR. Has a full point. I agree. I'd probably give it 7.5, 8. But with the VR, give it 1 full point. Absolutely incredible experience. But they rebooted Resident Evil series. Also, God of War E3, they announced reboot. A different side camera is going to be behind them rather than the actual camera they used during the other 6 games. And Legend of Zelda being open world. Supposedly, we'll find out in a few weeks if that is legit or if that is true. But, so the question of the week is, which games do you feel need to be rebooted? Franchises? Starting with Rich.
I'm a big story guy. My favorite game of all time is Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars title.
Same.
So I would take the opportunity now that Disney has things that are out of canon. They have the ability with new graphics, new techniques, and BioWare looks to be, firing on full cylinders and expanding their reach. But they didn't do the second game, and I don't think they did honor when they did the Old Republic MMO. I would like to see them be able to do like a Babylon 5 kind of thing where they know the story points over multiple titles, put it all together, pace it out, and you can always change on the go a little bit, but beginning, middle, and end, and you get it all done where it all makes sense. Because to me, Revan's story ended after 2. What happened after that in the book that Carpathian wrote, and then in the MMO, actually made me not want to play any more KOTOR titles. I was a guy that bought the collector's edition of the Old Republic MMO, had a 6-month subscription right up front, and I got about a month in, and I heard from other people that were closer to end-game content what happened with Revan and the Exile, and I stopped playing, and I haven't been back, and I don't intend to. And I know that they've done some revamps and changes to the story, and I'm aware of all those changes. I don't want any part of it. It seems like they didn't understand what the second game was about, and I understand it was done by Obsidian. But I think it was an improvement. It was too bad it was rushed out. They didn't get to finish the game the way they intended. But I think the story was going in the right way, and I think that BioWare, unfortunately, kind of disrespected that. I think if you gave it back to them where they could do it and do it in a way where it fit in with canon, with the overall story that they've done with Rebels and the Clone Wars, the prequels, the original trilogy, and now the new stuff, if you could put it in there, I think that Revan, Bastila, all those characters, the Exile, they are valuable to the ongoing story. I think it could be the basis of new movies, and the best way to introduce that is make that be the front of your video game empire. Just like there's certain stuff they're doing with the comics. Rebels is doing their own thing on TV, and that Force Awakens period is doing the stuff in the movies other than the side stories like Rogue One and the Han Solo trilogy and stuff. Let KOTOR be its big stamp on the video game world. Other than these mobile games, and I'm one of those guys that's playing them, I want to see Revan done right again. Finish that story. I want to learn, and I want to reintegrate the old Republic back in. And I think that's the best way to do it.
That's all the time we have for a question of the week. So we'll check back. Mo and I think we'll post on Twitter what our games we would review. No,
just yell it out.
No, I absolutely agree. Knights of the Old Republic 3. I loved the first two. I know Obsidian did the second one. It was rushed, but I still loved both those games. One of my favorite games of all time. Absolutely, I'd be there for Knights of the Old Republic 3. Fuck the Old Republic.
I do love the games too. They were amazing. Number 2, I'm in the same boat as these two guys. Love the hell out of number 1. Actually, I played it over and over. I played like 3 times, just for the hell of it. I just kept going back to it, and I kept choosing like different paths too. I loved it. It was a great game.
I bought my Xbox for Knights of the Old Republic. The only reason why I bought it. And Mo, what games franchises would you want rebooted?
I know it's been in the talk news here, or rumors and so forth. I do want to see Battletoads. I do want to see Rare release this. I want to see it. I want to play it. I don't even have an Xbox, and that would probably make me buy one for just the
for Battletoads.
Yeah, I played it when I was a kid. It would just bring back
memories. Make it happen, Phil Spencer.
And yeah,
I want my boy Mo to get an Xbox. They need all the help they can get.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying.
They're only down by 20 million units to Sony.
And besides that point, I do want Sega to come out with a Streets of Rage. New Streets of Rage needs to be done. I think it's been a long time.
What is Streets of Rage?
Huh?
What is Streets of Rage?
Oh, side-scrolling beat 'em up. Beautiful. Just
Enough said.
That's it. You don't need to say anything. If you don't know Streets of Rage, you need to look that game up on YouTube.
It's almost a more adult version of Double Dragon, right?
Yeah, of course. You got like the half-naked girl fighting everybody in the skirt. I mean,
Double Dragon 4 was released this month.
I did see that, but it's no Streets of
Rage. It looked like a
me.
piece of shit and didn't get very good reviews.
You don't want the
nostalgia. No. No bromance. I want Rampage as a bromance. No. We're already getting that movie, Godzilla vs. King Kong. But, so
we're getting a Rampage movie too. Are you going to wear this?
Yes, that's right. The Rock. Fuck.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
I was not aware.
Breaking news. Rampage. You heard it here first. Rampage.
Mo heard it first.
Mo heard it now. No, I remember it heard because The Rock's going to be in it, right?
Yeah. Who else did they announce it? Manganiello is who they were casting as the werewolf.
Wow, I did not know this.
They announced that this week.
That's interesting.
We'll probably give a review. We do have another podcast, a movie cast, on our YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, we'll be doing reviews of movies. You'll be able to catch us there, see what we feel. Our first movie is going to be Logan, coming out March 3rd. We will give a review of what we feel about the third outing, or supposedly those movies don't exist.
Yes, this is the first Wolverine movie.
The first Wolverine since the other ones.
Get any of these ideas? That timeline never.
I don't know if it's McAvoy or Stewart. These timelines are confusing. I don't understand.
Apocalypse shows up out of nowhere.
Apocalypse, yes. But so back to our question of the week: Streets of Rage, and what was the other?
Battletoads.
Battletoads. Did you ever beat Battletoads? Isn't that one of the hardest games ever made?
Like, there's only like a few people that could beat Battletoads.
So why do you want a reboot of Battletoads?
It's still so well done. It was fun.
It was fun, even for dying so much. You just wanted to beat the shit out of everything, and then turn into a giant bell. You swing off the ropes and the giant foots, the boots, the
a mace.
The horns, the goat horns that you get when you round somebody. It's just amazing.
I just want the idea of you having an Xbox. Just makes me happy inside.
We'll see what happens. I may have to buy it on PC to skip the Xbox.
See?
Cheeky bastard.
Well played.
Just hope Scorpio doesn't end up with VR support, or I'll have to buy a PS4. So.
Oculus, please. Scorpio E3 June. Announce it.
I was actually amazed for the VR here.
VR, yes, and we'll talk about VR sometime. But yes.
So what's your choice?
My choices is, my first one would be Call of Duty. How would you reboot it? Why? It comes out every year. I played every single Call of Duty since 2005, since the second one came out on Xbox 360. I bought on launch day, and that was the launch games I bought was Call of Duty 2. Why? Well, why reboot it? Excellent question. Played Infinite Warfare last night, and it's so smooth. I want an open world Call of Duty game. I want a mix of Fallout and Metal Gear Solid 5. Put those together with the Call of Duty speed, smooth shooting mechanics. And I'll be the happiest boy.
It's gonna be Death Stranding.
That's Death Stranding won't come out until PlayStation 6. It's gonna be the next Last Guardian, so that won't be coming.
I heard
out.
it's a comedy, so I don't.
I actually heard that as well. So good luck. That trailer is a comedy.
Those
Said it's open
fetus
world
shots and everything. Yeah.
So open world Call of Duty, again, just put me in a country, side quests throughout. I see villages. Again, I want the 60 FPS. We have 6 teraflops, whatever the fuck that means. Hopefully it has the power to be able to keep that 60 FPS for Call of Duty.
Are you
smooth.
reading the side of the box right now?
Yeah.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah.
Where's the box?
6 teraflops.
He got it when he pre-ordered a Gamescast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They gave him that promotion.
I pre-ordered my Scorpio 4 years
like,
ago.
please buy this game. We have too many of them.
Yes. You little shit. Call of Duty. My second game would be Fable. A reboot of Fable, which is pretty sad, because Fable Legends, I don't know what the fuck that was supposed to be, which was canceled.
It got canceled.
It got canceled. And then
Oh, with Scalebound. Oh, we're all sad, aren't we? Oh, boo.
I'm extremely sad. And then The Journey on Kinect. On the Kinect, The Journey. Fable, 20-hour game that did not work on the Kinect.
But you could shoot spells from your covered wagon. That's awesome.
I already can shoot spells already.
Those aren't spells, but okay.
No.
But I want to go back. I loved Fable 1, 2, and 3. I loved that trilogy. Huge fan. I want a Fable 4. Give it to me. Did you guys play Fable?
I did play Fable. I played the first one.
I played the second one. Well, the first and the second one. I didn't play the third one.
You didn't play
I
the
didn't play
third
the
one?
third one.
Where the first half...
You actually scared me off of playing the third one when you told me how much it advanced in time, that how much of the game was actually what I expected from Fable, as opposed to that whole country building, war, tactical kind of thing. I actually didn't play after speaking to you because I was behind on games, and then when you told me, I was like, that's not Fable. I don't want to ruin the experience because 1 and 2 were very important to me.
I guess I spoke very high of Fable 3 to scare you away. Fable,
You weren't the only one, but you were a deciding factor.
Fable, I always believed was always a game behind. The promises in Fable 1 didn't happen until Fable 2. Then the promises in Fable 2 didn't happen until Fable 3. Then the promises in Fable 3, hopefully I'll get in Fable 4, which who knows?
Sounds like how you viewed Nintendo.
So it lives up to its name?
And so,
That was a better line.
I just... What? I'm sorry. I don't
fuck
know.
you, Mo.
Fuck that. I'm not
Don't
sorry.
talk shit about my Fable.
No, I'm just saying.
This is where Mo gets like a bing bing.
Exactly. You're going evil.
You just got an extra life for
Yeah,
this.
you're gonna grow some horns.
One-ups.
That's not approved.
What I'm about.
So those are the games we'd want rebooted. Please add the games in the comments below of games or franchises you would want rebooted or
Comment below.
brought back
We don't care.
to life. I care about
I
your
kinda
comments.
care.
I care about your feelings.
Okay, they'll read them. I'm just gonna sit here because I know you're just gonna tell me I'm bald. So I've never heard that before.
You're bald?
Only where it counts.
What?
I have no idea what that means. But leave the comments below of any games you would want
None
rebooted.
of his baldness, please.
It is that time of the podcast for a three-way. So what that is, I have a list of categories in this Darth Vader cup. Well, we will state our top 3 video games of the category that is selected. And we have no idea what category it is. We are doing it here live.
Do it live.
Doing it live.
To tape.
We're on tape delay.
I just like to be accurate.
We are on 7-second delay. So our
In case I
category
say fuck.
is in the Darth Vader helmet. Our top 3 video games. All right, our top 3 Mortal Kombat games of all time. Mortal Kombat is our category. It doesn't have to be in any particular order of the Mortal Kombat games, and this is near and dear. I played the majority of the Mortal Kombat games. I don't know which one I didn't play.
Probably in the middle. Anything after 4, I'm guessing you probably tapped out like most everybody else did.
No, like on the GameCube, there's the 5th one, Deadly Alliance, and there was another one, 5 and 6 I played. 7 Armageddon, when they put every single character ever. So I would probably go, one of my favorite, actually top 3 Mortal Kombat games, I would go with the latest one, actually.
X.
It's good.
I really enjoyed it, and maybe I'm biased. I actually played it at PlayStation Experience, so before it was released. Played about 4 months before, and I loved it. It's very smooth. Graphics look great. Just the mechanics. I do like the story-based mode. I think I missed that in the Mortal Kombat reboot that they did, that they changed. It's not tiers where you go each fight a person, go up a hill like they did like the first.
Very cinematic how they did the whole
few. Now it's more of like a story to it, because before, like I remember like reading about it, like in canon, like Liu Kang wins the first 2 or 3 Mortal Kombats. I was like, I didn't know someone actually, like when I was younger, I didn't know someone actually won. There was canon to it. Then they started to add that canon in 5, 6, 7, Deadly Alliance. There's one of them where Liu Kang dies at the beginning. Quan Chi and Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung, yeah.
I can't pronounce his name very well. The guy that. The Mystique.
Let one white guy tell another white
the
guy.
male
It's
Mystique
Shang Tsung, obviously.
Shapeshift. Yeah. Baraka. That would be one of my top 3 Mortal Kombat, is the newest one. What about you, Rich? What would be one of your top 3?
Oh, you got to go with the original, but on Sega Genesis as opposed to when it came out on the Super Nintendo.
I like Green Blood.
No, I liked activating that code, and you actually had the red blood. I remember how I was one of the few kids growing up that actually had a Sega Genesis, and I actually had the legit game because of that. So I like that, but of course, I'm also a DC fanboy. So Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, or I'm really looking forward to Injustice 2. Injustice 1 was awesome. I know that's not technically Mortal Kombat, but...
Were you okay with no fatalities? And didn't they go...
There, I had a problem with that. I understood what they were going
you can't
for.
Kill Superman with a fatality.
And in Injustice, they kind of changed that everybody gets equalized as far as the damage they can do. But yeah, in Mortal Kombat versus DC, that was a little bit of an off-put, but I think that they still did justice to the characters. It made enough sense for a Mortal Kombat game, so I wasn't really insulted by it, and it was just fun. And it was a new way to see the DC characters, and it spun off into its own title, and now it's going to the second one. So, and that's been its own. If you read the comics, and I'll be honest, a lot of the designs they're making the DCEU now kind of look like Injustice takes on some things. So it did have a big, profound effect. I like that. What about you, Mo?
I don't know if I'm going to catch heat for this, but I actually liked it when they introduced the combos in Mortal Kombat 3. I was a big fan of that.
Babality.
I just like
friendship,
stringing the brutalities and all that stuff. I love when they started introducing that, and I know that made, which puts me into my second. I love the introduction of the X, or not the second, but the Mortal Kombat X. They brought back brutalities, and they were just as amazing as I remember them. I know that in Mortal Kombat 3 they were a little excessive with the brutalities, because you got up to like almost like 50 hits or something like that. They were trying to copy of what Killer Instinct was doing with the whole, those mega combos and everything, which it was in a league of its own. That's what I remember as being in the arcade. I played the first one, played the second one, love those. My third one would go back into the first one, just as what Rich was saying. But
it's classic.
It's just classic. You got to go back. And fortunate to say, I just like the combo system. I was a combo guy,
I'll go with the one I played, probably would be Deadly Alliance, the one where they killed Liu Kang at the beginning. That was on GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2. The updated graphics, I believe that was number 5. I played that a lot. And Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed Ultimate. They added more characters. So I remember I had that on the Super NES, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. But the sad part with the Mortal Kombat franchise, the first 3, is they did not age well.
No.
The fighting mechanics, if you go back, like Street Fighter 2, you can play perfectly right now to this day. And Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, if you give that to like a child right now, they're like, what the fuck is this?
Is that torture? You would give it to a child?
Yeah.
This is what you get. Play number one.
They're so stiff, and the mechanics at the time it looked amazing when I was younger, but now trying to play it, like, this game is broken, and it's very odd. But Mortal Kombat 3, I remember like the babality. I thought that was odd when they started going crazy mode with the babality, turn him into a baby.
You know, I got a weird story about Mortal Kombat 2. Actually, that's actually my first date with Heather. She beat my ass at Mortal Kombat 2. Like, she was really fucking good, and I was kind of upset. And I was like, I played Mortal Kombat. How the fuck is she beating me? Yeah, true story. My own girlfriend beat me at Mortal Kombat 2, and
She beats him at Destiny.
And it was
Dark
that
Souls.
It was
Destiny.
Just busting your balls.
It was in the arcade too. It wasn't. She was.
Oh, it was in front of people? Oh, I was just being
You had a
funny. I
crowd.
didn't realize.
Yeah,
Ooh.
this was in an arcade. This was at High Scores.
He beat her at DDR, though, so it was awesome. He took back the crown.
I took it.
I would love to see you play DDR.
It's not gonna happen.
So what do you think is the legacy of the Mortal Kombat franchise? Where do they go from here? We just had Mortal Kombat X.
I think they're gonna keep building on the greatness. I mean, Ed Boon knows what he's doing. Like, he gets it. He knows how to build fighting games, and he's doing such a remarkable job that now, you know, I'm going to Evo later this year. I mean, it's one of the top spots. That's what people pay to play. You know, it's really important. One thing about the DLCs that's getting me a little bit, they're kind of really pricey for a fighting game. I think people are overpaying for the extra characters and all that.
They had Freddy Krueger as a fighter,
Alien
as a
and
character.
Predator
They were
Yeah.
great characters, but once again, like, it's the same thing of when you go from Mortal Kombat X to XL. Like, I don't know. It's great. I got it regardless. I still played for
XL?
Yeah,
Or-
I got to the XL.
What was the difference between? They just added the DLC characters.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, but
Game
it's
of the
like
Year
8 of
edition.
them. I think there's
Yeah.
like 8 characters. Yeah.
Because I got X on day one. I got
Oh, me too.
X, beat it, the story mode, and then didn't play too much online. I get owned. I'm
Oh,
not
I get
really online
owned a lot,
multiplayer. I just play Mortal Kombat for the story.
I want to make fun of that, but I
You're
do
one of
too.
the few.
I can't really.
I have to know who wins the tournament. I just need to know who's gonna stop Liu Kang. They just had to kill him.
Sonya Blade's daughter. Did you not play the game? I mean, it's a whole time warp.
I have to go online and read.
Spoilers.
Oh,
If we're-
spoiler alert!
Yeah,
Spoiler for a 2-year-old game. My bad.
it happens.
So, Rich, what do you think the future? Do you think they stop and focus on Injustice? Is that the same company?
Yeah, NetherRealm. Yeah. No, I would assume they're going to do that, and they're going to do much like you were saying with XL. They've already announced there's going to be 8 bonus characters, plus they've got a costume system in there that's going to give you other things. So in the comics, another version or another Earth's version of Supergirl is Power Girl. So they've already announced like one of her alternate costumes is Power Girl, but she'll have a new voice, new moves. It just takes the same place in the roster as Supergirl. So they could conceivably, I think already they've announced, I think it's 48 characters plus the 8 bonuses, plus at least 9 new costumes that are going to be bonus characters. This could easily, by the time they're done with everything, have 65 different characters in there.
It's gonna be an Armageddon all over again.
He's gotten really big with roster, just building a huge roster, and I appreciate that.
But I don't want to see like Freddy Krueger in my DC game.
No.
Part of that.
No, I think they would be smart about something like that. I think there's a lot of DC characters that you can actually input into those games.
But he is talking about he's going to do outside their stuff, which I assumed was Mortal Kombat characters, which I get. They're going to have their crossover. They're the manufacturer. I get that.
Yeah.
But if they start doing like, oh, Predator's in here, I know, again, comics, Dark Horse, they did their little crossover, but I don't want to see that in Injustice. I don't.
I think if they start implementing characters like what he doesn't want. I mean, I can understand if they're implementing other comic characters. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and I'm a story guy too,
Yeah.
so it has to make sense in my head canon. So
What is your headcanon?
Oh, that's my version of how I think history played out. So sometimes, like in my version of events, we can skip past the DCEU. That isn't an alternate universe. That's just some crap that's on TV.
And we'll have a special episode, 1 hour of Rich telling his ending of Mass Effect 3 and what the real ending is.
Which I still
The
haven't played.
indoctrination theory is a real thing. And if it's not, it should be, because it's the only thing that makes that ending viable.
1 hour episode, we'll do a special. We might need to go more than that. It might be 2 hours.
The way I talk, you guys can tell it's going to be more than an hour.
It might be 2
strap
hours.
It's going to be a master's class.
Just spend an entire night. A night with Rich in front of a camera talking about Mass Effect ending.
I'll get some Cavassier, get some candles. It'll be very romantic. Don't worry.
Can I touch on one other thing?
You can touch anything you want.
I was waiting.
Jesus. Really? That's what we're going? That's not what I'm talking about. Anyways.
That's what I'm talking about.
With the DLCs, I wish a lot of people would follow suit with what, and I know it kind of doesn't or would make sense. I don't know, with what Rainbow Six Siege does, where if you get a season pass or something like that, yeah, you get the characters, but even the people who don't want to buy the season pass can still go in, and as long as they're playing the game, they can buy the games with an in-game credit, which doesn't cost them any extra money. I think a lot more companies should follow suit. For Honor's doing that, just throwing that out there though. I just wish fighting games would do that too. Because didn't that happen with Street Fighter, the latest Street Fighter? Everybody had to.
Street Fighter 5.
Oh,
Ouch.
Man.
Ouch.
Everybody had to pay for the
Talk
additional
about an
characters,
unfinished
right?
game.
Yeah. I mean, that's a hit.
Story mode came out months after the game came out.
Yeah.
We'll release story mode. It released in February. The story mode wasn't until the summer.
Yeah. And once again, like I said, it's going to be one of the top picked franchises because, yeah, Street Fighter. But how much money are you putting into this? You know, like if you want to buy this, I think it should be an option. It shouldn't be forced upon you to buy more characters, more this, more that. What if a player wants to earn it? Let them do that. I think it's really important for, especially fighting games. You know, you're delivering an unfinished fighting game. That's not.
Which Street Fighter 5
Well,
was.
they have in-game advertisements.
Yeah.
So, like the movies, imagine if you paid for a standard ticket and they had a bunch of, some name brand soda in the background, and then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, if you want to see the third act, you owe us another $7.95. Otherwise, sit through another 15 minutes of this billboard that's in the background of this fight scene."
Guess what this is?
It's coffee. He's drinking coffee.
It is 1 a.m. in the morning. I'm an old man now.
Is that what time it is?
Yeah, it's past 1.
No, it's not.
It is.
It is
1:15.
It is 1:15.
Don't say it out loud.
I can edit this out.
Oh wait, Professor X, I forgot.
It helps me keep drinking. That's why.
So those were our top 3 Mortal Kombat games of all time. Add in the comments below what your top 3 Mortal Kombat games of all time below. So we're going to end our show by going balls deep. This is where we're going to tell you what game we're going to be playing this week. Starting with Rich, what game will we be going balls deep in?
I'm still waiting for Mass Effect Andromeda to really get engrossed in, so I'm probably going to finish 100% on the trophies for Arkham Knight, Arkham Knight, I guess. I've got to go back and 100% it. And then, I'm playing Marvel Future Fight on my phone, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Maybe I'll dip into Watch Dogs 2, but I'm, like I said, story guy, so I probably will wait until after I've done Mass Effect to really hit.
So you're doing just the tip for Watch Dogs 2?
No.
What about you, Mo? What games are you going to be playing? You bought a lot of games. For Honor is coming out.
Yeah, definitely going to be playing Persona 5. Diving still into multiplayer. Uncharted 4, love multiplayer. Battlefield 1, still playing that. A little mix of Titanfall 2 as well. Multiplayer has me just.
Which one do you prefer?
Addicted.
Titanfall 2 or Battlefield 1?
Battlefield 1. It's so great. It just feels epic when you're playing.
They're both incredible.
Yeah. They are both incredible. I love Titanfall 2. I have to mix it up. I can't. But if I were to choose, if I had to play one and they told me you can only play one fucking game, I'm going to go with Battlefield 1.
And I just finished Resident Evil 7 last night, and I started the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. So I'll be going balls deep in Call of Duty. I've beaten all of them since 2005. I have to beat this and Watch Dogs 2, hopefully by March 3rd. So I have some catching up to do before Zelda comes out. So those are the games we'll be going balls deep in. Let us know in the comments below what you will be going balls deep in. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next time on the PPVG.